Hello. Um, so first of all, I chose to do Windows PowerShell because it has, I can actually use commands that interact with Active Directory, and there's not a lot of extra work that needs to go into that. Um, the purpose of the project is to make users, or just add users to a domain. Um, Really the big issue I ran into this project is that I'm running in a virtual machine, and if I were to if I had more time working on it, which isn't really a good excuse, but I would have had it so that I could set up a CSV file that has a list of names and identities, just like all the data that I need to prompt for, and then just get the process running so it uses that information and then loops through making users. But between also having to download Excel and then setting up the file, and then the other issue that I had that kind of goes into that is being able to run the actual user commands. I had to actually make the user to be able to even check these, so I couldn't just run what if I couldn't just run the what if to see, oh, what would happen if I did these. It needed other commands before it to have a target for things to actually be able to give me, oh, is everything actually working? And then if I was doing a whole list of users, every time I would have to go through and delete all those users. And I just was like, this is going to take a lot more time than I think I have. So I just made sure I had something that was working. But adding the loop there, and then also I'm reading uh the file and just to format the data there, I think it would have there's stuff that I'm missing for this project that I think doing that would have given me, but I didn't end up doing. um uh as far as how it could help others, um I think it's gonna be the kind of thing where this is enough good bones where, especially using the other stuff I want to add, it's kind of something I can expand on and use in the future. Um, Adding users is a kind of task that is probably pretty common. Uh, and then going into describing the script. First, we've got these three variables that's reading the host. It's asking for the first name, the last name, and then the public identity. Then I've got name, which is just adding the first and last name together. And then SAM account name, I ended up doing the public identity. This wasn't this originally, and it's now something that is kind of redundant, I've realized. So it's probably something I can delete. Um, User principal name is just then secret name at the domain. The department, the department is variable. I did a test department, uh, but you just replace this with whatever department you're adding users to. Uh, this is just the users for the domain. DCOU, this is establishing the path that I need to put stuff in. Um, the path that I need for the user commands, Active Directory commands. And then this one is the path for the user. So then here we've got a command that sets the password for the user. Uh, then this one is making the user. Name, given name, surname, and then display name is just the name, which is both of them. And then saying the password, using the password. Um, this is enabling the account. This is setting them to their department. Then this is adding them to the DC user group, which is, well, adding them to the department. Um, it's adding the people to the department, which is DC tester. Um, anyways, so if I run it, I can do Clint Barton Hawkeye. And if I come in here, just refresh things, here's Clint Barton. And then if I go to DC users, well, DC tester, you can see Clint Barton's been added to that as well. Um, there's probably other things that this script needs to do for actual use case, but this is just what we were having to do in user admin class, so I was using that as a criteria for the things that I needed this to do. Um, but yep. Uh, as far as the CSV document would go, most of this, I think these three things here, these three lines, first three lines would be what are in the document. Variables all just sit there, and then I would just have to loop through this for each user, and I'd have to make sure that I'm formatting the data out of the CSV documents for these three variables. Well, no. I'd have to put the variables in the loop, otherwise it would just, yeah, variables would have to be in the loop too. These first three lines would have to be in the loop instead, which would actually also have to move some of these, but actually all of these. Um, this one would also have to move to the loop, but the rest of them, so 4 variables would stay outside of it. Um, so yep, that's the, just had to make sure I had something that was working.